You know, I said how a lot of the people who played with Nuke Doc, it's a similar scenario also, like, all praise him super duper. I heard a similar thing about Trick, basically, that people said, like, he's really good at, like, teaching things about the game and how to play, and, like, and that even though, like, because people wouldn't expect it because they think because he's Korean, he wouldn't have great English. He is perfectly fine English. Like, it seems like everyone says this quality, though, like, he's kind of someone who, like, leveled their game up. Like, we're not talking, by the way, about, like, basics. We're obviously talking about, like, macro concepts and stuff and how to work with the jungler, right?
No, it was awesome. And actually, this 2019 summer split, I always had, like, the first 2 years I had, like, not good split. Actually, the first 3 years also in Challenger Series, I had, like, not so good result. And then we made a change and then we got a really good result. And both the 2018 summer splits, where we went top 2, and then the 2019 summer where we went top 3, I have really good memories about, like, what, even though we didn't win the split, I felt like we had a lot of the things that I could imagine a winning team needing. And Trick was definitely a big part of that. And again, we played the game very much around bot lane, and I think this is also the year where I started to, like, get a lot more lane advantages and really cement myself much more in the laning phase. And yeah, I was playing super well. I think Trick helped Abadag so much, and even Odo. And yeah, I was kind of proud of what we achieved, because even though we didn't win, I still think we were, like, clearly the third best team in this split for nearly all of it. And it was because we found what was working for us, and I was having actually a really great split. And Igna, I think, gets kind of a bad rap, but I think you need to know how you can get the best out of him, because I really think he's super talented and he's really good in lane, but he is also a very emotional player, I think, and he can close himself off a little bit if he doesn't feel like he's being seen by his teammates or by what he also needs from his team. And with Trick, he was, like, a very mature, I think, and was really trying to improve the team too. So I felt me, Trick, and Igna could really help our team reach the best. And of course, the split ended with us getting 3-0 against Fnatic by, like, getting invaded level 1 like 3 games in a row or 2 games and losing, like, buff and dying. And it was funny because in the weeks before that, if there's only 3 teams left, you can only scrim, and we had,
of course, yes,
we were stomping Fnatic in scrims, like, so hard. And it's...
So you thought you were going to the final then, presumably, right?
Yeah, of course. We were, like, 20-3 or something crazy, or 20-2. They barely could win. Oh, also I wanted to mention that Dylan was my coach in this split.
Yes.
And he's really good at creating, like, structure and focus on what makes the team win. I think at the time he was very agreeable, I think, when he was the coach in this team, and I felt like he was lacking more of the also setting boundaries with people.
Yeah.
But I think I maybe also can be annoying to some of my teammates. I really like to try to set certain boundaries for how we practice and what champs we should be playing, the champs we're actually going to play on stage, and not have too much fun with, like, or not. I want it to be structured. I want people to really think, like, what am I going to play if this is banned? What am I going to play after that? If he picks that, what am I going to play? That's how I always think about the champs I want to play and the bot lane matchups I want to play with Silly. And I think it goes a lot into that. And I don't like when people show up, like, very unprepared and just, like, just winging scrims. And I just want to play this champ because it's really fun right now, and I just lock it in. Especially if I think the player is, like, not very top class and didn't reach his, like, I feel like they're holding themselves back in a way when they are not as good as they could be, but maybe that's just my way of thinking, and maybe this is, like, exactly what they need. But that was always the same thing with, like, I want winning to be the most important thing, and for that I think people need to be really logical or disciplined in their approach to practice. And I think Dylan was also good at finding a champ. Sometimes he was more lenient than me, maybe, with how I think what people should play. But he was a really mature coach, I think, in my career. And
to me, this is... Oh, sorry, go on.
And I think I heard also that he improved quite a lot after in the Schalke teams where they, for example, made the miracle run. I think he developed a more, not dark side, but a more
You got to be a bit ruthless sometimes. You are the
Yeah.
boss at the end of the day, aren't you? You're not their friend. You are the boss.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. And I think you could also see in G2 now, like, they started so early with practicing. They found what worked for them really well in these playoffs, and then they just stuck with it so disciplined, and how they play is like so structured from my point of view, and then it also has rooms for individuals to really shine. So I think he's a very underrated coach. From my
To me, though, this is also why, like, the tough part about your career is that you went up and then you had this step down where you had to go for a couple of years before you got the chance in an elite team again. Because to me, the things you're describing, unfortunately, are also just part of the nature of being in a lower level team, I'm afraid. Because when you're in those teams, like I say, the players you get are people who've been kicked out, or they haven't yet made it, or they're young in their career, or they're too washed up. And unfortunately, those people aren't going to be on the same page as you. So the difference is, in a team like that, or any of those lower teams, it's almost like you're trying to change the entire culture of the team and change people's total mindset and vision of the game. Meanwhile, if you're in a team like G2 or Fnatic, like the big orgs, people aren't even supposed to be there if they're not here to win. They're supposed to be there to be the best at their role, and if you're not, by the way, the org's supposed to replace you. It's not like you even have to do it yourself. So it sounds like, to me, this is also some of the struggles of being a big fish in a small pond, as we say in English.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not sure if I will ever find a group where I feel like everyone feels the same way as me. That's probably, with my experience, naive to think about at this point, that I will meet, that everyone thinks the same way as me at the right time and wants to do exactly the same thing as me. It's probably never going to happen. But the theme of my career, I feel like, is definitely taking a step forward, taking 2 steps forward and then taking 1 step back. And there has been a lot of setbacks and difficult moments for me that have given me a lot of strength and experience that I hopefully will use well to propel myself forward even after losing again.
Want to see more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.